It's another week and I've been very bad at vlogging throughout this week. Normally I would, vlog on Tuesday or Monday or some point in the week and kind of start, but it is already Thursday. And so these full day of eating videos have kind of been consuming my video recording abilities. We'll go with that. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. And just to kind of like go back to what I talked about last week with stress, on Sunday morning when I weighed myself, I had gone up 6 pounds. And so that just goes to show that stress can really, really impact your body and make you, your hormones go crazy, and then you make you kind of retain water and bloat. And I could just tell at the beginning of the week that like, I had too much in me. So I've been focusing on, just kind of doing walking and doing kind of good exercises to kind of get the stress out of my body. But then I've been also, drinking more water and just eating foods that I'm hoping will help and get the bloating out or the kind of stress out. And then kind of just get back down to the weight that I'm normally sitting at. And so, yeah, so I am seeing slow changes on the scale throughout the week, and so I'm hoping by Saturday morning when I weigh myself like I normally do, that I'll be back to where I was at before. I've gotten a bunch of questions for you guys, because I had asked last week if you thought I should do a Q&A, and so I will be answering those questions at the end of this video and just kind of going over the questions that you guys asked. You guys asked a lot of really great questions, and so I will be going over those as part of this video. So there's a few that you guys have asked and I've actually just answered in the comment section because I am eager to like try and give you guys advice or kind of let you know what I'm doing, or be as transparent as possible. And I'm just going to re-answer those questions in the video just so that way people that might have the same question don't have to kind of dig through the questions or comment section of various videos and find them. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will check in with you guys as this week progresses. But so far, it is definitely a better week than last week was. So yeah, see you guys. It is Sunday, and normally I film this on Saturday, but when I filmed it this past Saturday, I took my SD card out too quickly and it corrupted. So all the footage that I shot yesterday regarding this kind of breakdown is gone, and very frustrating. But thank God none of the 15 days of eating keto footage was lost, because then I would feel horrible, because I want to be very transparent with this whole process. I want to be very open with what I'm doing and what I'm eating so that you can see that, what it is I'm doing and how I'm consuming things. So I hope you guys are enjoying those videos. They are very fun to film, very short, very sweet, just kind of, this is what I ate today. And I want to show that I don't do the very traditional keto kind of diet where it's just bacon and eggs. I like a lot of variety. Even though I have a lot of the things that I could eat basically the same lunch every day or similar dinners, I like to really, just have a good variety in there. And I think it shows that keto doesn't have to be, all just fat and protein, that you can get a lot of great vegetables and a lot of great kind of nutrients in there, that, you don't have to supplement everything. And so, yeah, I hope that you guys are finding that informative and interesting, and that it's showing you that exactly what I'm eating and I'm being as transparent as possible. So with that being said, I did ask you guys if you'd want me to do like a Q&A this week, and I got a bunch of questions, and a bunch of them were kind of within the same realm regarding like, do I track macros? What's my macro breakdown? Do I count my calories? Stuff like that. And so I am tracking my calories right now in order to do these 15 days of keto videos, but I am not somebody that normally regularly tracks my macros. If I'm curious about something or curious about how I'm stacking my day, I'll throw things into like MyFitnessPal, but day in, day out, I don't track, I don't, religiously measure things. I make sure that the foods that I have around are keto friendly and that they are going to promote me to be within my ketogenic diet. I don't keep a lot of things around that I'm going to be tempted by. So I don't have to kind of religiously track because I'm not typically eating a bunch of stuff that's going to really throw me off. So within this, I think you guys can kind of see what my daily breakdown is, and like my traditional kind of calculated macro breakdown I think is supposed to be like 110 protein, 23 carbs, and then about 130 in fat. And typically I have about like 110 to 130 in fat, about 18 to maybe 21 in carbs. I'm pretty much in that sweet spot with net carbs anyways. And then for protein, I'm more at like 65 to 85. So I am definitely low on my protein versus recommended to me from MyFitnessPal. And I don't really sweat that. I am consuming enough protein in order to support my muscles and keep myself healthy, but if I'm going to restrict anywhere, it's usually my carbs that I restrict on, and then I'll restrict more on my protein and give myself more healthy fats because that keeps me full and sustained, and I feel better running on fats versus running on a higher protein keto diet. So I prefer that, and that's kind of my preference. And I like to stick around that like palm size of protein per meal. And yeah, it's definitely working for me. I don't feel like my muscles are unsupported. My husband's trying to convince me to do a protein fast, and that's just basically where you eat no protein for an entire day. So we'll see if I am convinced to do that, but I don't go crazy on my protein. If I'm gonna reduce something within a meal, I'll reduce the protein versus the fat. So yeah, that's kind of my philosophy. So further in regards to kind of like what I'm eating in a day, and kind of like calorie consumption, do I like to work at a, like, do I believe in, calories in, calories out? And yeah, I don't believe that you can eat an infinite number of calories and not have it affect you, especially if you're like my body or, overweight or anything. Excuse me. I think that you really need to be mindful of the amount of calories that you're consuming. I do try to work at a deficit. I don't go crazy monitoring my calories. If I go over my calories, I don't feel like bad about it in any way. I don't feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna gain weight. That's not my mentality. But what I do believe is that in order for me to long-term kind of lose weight and kind of get to the more ideal body, I should work more at a deficit. And that should be more of my goal. So I, kind of live within the universe of what I'm consuming, and I think you can kind of see within these 15 days of keto that my calorie consumption is somewhere between like 1,300 and 1,600 calories per day, and that's pretty typical as I've been going on this journey. The thing that I try to work towards more is my calories burned, and so I use my Fitbit to help me track that, and I try to stay at like 2,000 to 2,500 calories burned per day. That's my goal, and so that's what I'm trying to kind of promote and get through with my body. So I make sure to be burning enough calories within a day in order to get myself at a deficit. I don't care what that deficit is, if it's 100 calories, if it's 1,000 calories, it doesn't really matter to me as long as I'm operating somewhat at a deficit. I've got fat stores in my body that I want my body to start burning from. And so when I'm consuming and adding lots of fat in, then my body is going to be burning from that versus burning from the fat stores on my body. And I want it to be burning those fat stores because I want those fat stores to go down. And that's the kind of end game goal here. So that being said, I know that there's like videos out there by like Jason Whitrock and showing kind of how he was able to consume like 4,000 calories in a day. And my kind of takeaway on that is that's really cool. That's very informative. It's really interesting to watch somebody kind of experiment and do things like that. But at the same time, I'm not Jason Whitrock. My body is not Jason Whitrock's body. So if I punched Jason Whitrock in the abdomen, my hand would shatter. If he punched me in my abdomen, he would be met with a big fluffy pillow. So we're not comparable. I really can't compare his results to results that I would experience. And, you know, I've been operating at a deficit since January, and I'm seeing results. I'm seeing the fat get off of my body. So as I promote my body to burn fat from fat by consuming more fat, I then am promoting it to kind of go after the fat stores within my body and kind of consume from there. And so I kind of take that as the kind of win-win. So another question that I got asked a bunch was if I would show kind of my workout equipment or what my home workout routine is, and that is a video that is coming. I'm not going to do that within this video, but believe me, I will answer those questions a little bit better. So another question that I got asked was to talk about myself more personally, and again, Erin here. I am a mother of 2 children. I have a 2-year-old and an almost 6-year-old, and I'm married. I've been married now for almost 7 years, and I've been with my husband for almost 9 years. So, yeah, for almost 9 years. So we do live kind of around St. Paul, Minnesota, and we have a pretty great life here, and I'm trying to think. It's always so weird when you have to talk about yourself, think about things about myself. We do have a cat. I got asked if I have any pets, and I do have a cat. Her name is Charlie, and if you see me constantly touching my face, it's because more often than not, as I'm preparing and mentally thinking about filming these videos, I usually just sit and pet her with on my lap, and then one, to keep her so she's happy and kind of quiet while I'm filming, because she'll just sit there and like meow and mew at me, and just kind of go crazy and wanting to jump up on my lap while I'm doing it. So if I give her a lot of attention ahead of time, I get a few minutes of peace while I'm filming these. And so if you see me constantly touching my face, it's because I have cat hair on my face, and so I try to wipe it all off, but she's just a hairy beast. She is, I think, a tabby cat, but there's a part of me that suspects that she might be part Maine Coon. So if anybody knows anything about Maine Coon cats, please comment below, because I'm still trying to figure out what she is, and you can't get genetic testing done for cats because of their species type. You can't get the test to show you which breed it is for sure. You'd have to go to like a breeder for them to determine if it's got the signs, and it's like when I look up the signs for a Maine Coon, she's got like half of them, and she's got some signs of just being a tabby cat. So I'm not sure what she is, but we only have the one animal. I am trying to convince my husband to get a dog. I would like to get a Cocker Spaniel. I like Cocker Spaniels. They're super friendly, super loyal, just big cuddle bugs. But I think the cat is going to have to be out of the picture before my husband allows us to have a dog. And I am in no way, shape, or form going to give up that cat, because she is, a total love bug herself. So basically the definition of a lap cat. So I guess I'll just have to wait to get a dog, and that's probably for the best, because I do have young children. So yeah, I am in school. I am pursuing a master's degree in kind of like ethics. So that is ethics and logic, and so that's kind of where my educational pursuit is in. For professionally, I work within the lending industry, so ethical lending maybe is where I'm kind of professionally landing, and so that's kind of my professional background, as well as my kind of what I'm doing educational wise. I did get a question on one of my videos regarding probiotics, and somebody had asked, like, can you kind of like essentially pickle or like create a probiotic meal through like using cabbage, or like cabbage, I think is what they're saying, and like heating it up on the stove. Oh yeah, can you take coleslaw and heat it on the stove with vinegar in order to make a a probiotic kind of side dish. And no, you can't. You can make coleslaw is really good for, you know, it's a good fibrous kind of food, and that can help to kind of push things through, but it wouldn't be a probiotic. In order for you to kind of have probiotic, it has to have kind of the probiotic cultures in it, and those are like living organisms. So if you're cooking and you take anything that would have the probiotic benefit, you would kill it, so you would lose that benefit. And if you are just taking vegetables to cook them, you can kind of use the fiber from it, but you can't, you can't create a living, organism that's going to be good in your gut through heat. Heat would, typically kind of kill off any of the organisms, the bugs kind of in it that are going to give you that benefit. So if you wanted to like use sauerkraut in a dish and the dish required it to be heated sauerkraut, I would just not use like a living sauerkraut. I would use the kind that you would get in the jar. That's typically what I use that one for, just because then I'm using it for the flavor. I'm not using it to get the probiotic benefit. Yeah, you can't create probiotics through heat. You can create pickling and kind of get that kind of false, like you would like coleslaw or like kind of like a quick sauerkraut through the stovetop, but it's not going to be a probiotic. So yeah. Do you have loose skin? That was one I've gotten a bunch. And right now I do not have loose skin, but I would say that I am like, if code red is like, I'm gonna get it, I would be like code orange red. Like I still have, some weight to lose from my stomach area, more toning that needs to be done, and I'm just kind of looking at that area, and I feel like as I lose probably the last like 5 pounds that are in that area, maybe, that I will probably have some potential for loose skin. And I'm trying to stay ahead of it, and I'm hoping that when it occurs that it'll be kind of something that can shrink down, after 6 months to a year after getting to that kind of physique. I'm hoping it'll go away, but yeah, I'm like a code orange red where I do feel like I might potentially have some. I have been overweight. I have had 2 children, and so I have definitely put a lot of stress on my stomach area regarding kind of its ability to stretch and go back and forth. And that I'm not really like upset about that or in any way kind of personally torn down. I am doing a ton to kind of combat that and get ahead of that, and I'm doing things like dry brushing that area, using a needle roller, using a lot of different lotions that specifically have things like vitamin E in it, supplementing with vitamin C that helps to kind of create natural collagen production within your body, or it helps to promote it, and then taking collagen, which helps to support and kind of maintain your skin and kind of help with the cellular regeneration or cellular and it helps to kind of create new cells within that area. So I'm using that. It also helps to combat cellulite, so that kind of helps within that area too. I do have stretch marks on my stomach because I was pregnant twice. The funny thing is, well, not funny, but the sad thing is I never got any stretch marks from just having my overweight tummy region, but I did have get stretch marks at week 38 of both of my pregnancies. So if you're unfamiliar with pregnancies, you're pregnant for about 40 weeks, and like with both at like the 38th week I got stretch marks, and so it was just like But anyways, yeah, so I'm not out of the woods yet, but I am trying to be as on top of it as I can be, and that's all I can ask for. And again, if it happens, I'm gonna wait 6 months to a year and really assess and see kind of what happens, like if the skin will shrink down naturally over time. I have been in a situation in which I've had the weight there for a very, very long time, and so it will take my body maybe a little while to realize that it's not coming back. You can kind of shrink down and de-stress about it, because we are forever going to be this way. So yeah, those were the questions that I had gotten asked. I know I probably had gotten asked a few more questions, and I apologize if I wasn't able to answer them. So I was trying to get all the questions answered, or as many of the questions answered as I could, and try to be kind of on top of it as much as possible. So I hope you guys found this video informative and kind of just gave you a little bit more information about me and kind of who I am, and then also just quickly checking in with the week. yeah, the scale basically, I'm still trying to work it to get back down from kind of my stress, crazy stress time. Some couple quick updates for me. I am working on a website. I should have that up within the next week or two. And I'm just basically going to be sharing my recipes and kind of things that I'm doing, articles that I find interesting. It'll be kind of like shaped like a Pinterest board. So yeah, or like a newspaper, and so I hope you guys find that informative and find it interesting. I am also working on creating some more social media accounts. If you aren't following me on Instagram, you can. My screen name on there is Holistagrams, and then I did create a Twitter account recently, and my Twitter is Erin. So yeah, I hope you guys start following me on those platforms because I am out there. And yep, that's all I got for this week. So until next time, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is going great, and I will see you guys later. Bye.